With perfectionism having both helpful and unhelpful qualities, this creates for dancers the paradox of perfectionism. And what this means is that the same qualities that lead a dancer to strive for high standards are also going to be the qualities that thwart their performance. Let's take a look at a number of areas where dancers are going to experience this conundrum. So the first one of these is when the drive to do well actually impairs performance. And what we mean by this is that it's the same characteristics that make a dancer strive for excellence that also increase a sense of dissatisfaction with the self. So although it is a pervasive belief in dance that to work for high standards is a really valuable thing, when these standards are only met at cost or at great expense to the self, it's also really difficult to feel good about yourself. So in this way, striving for the highest standards helps you to feel good, but then because they come at such a great cost, they make you feel bad. Now the next area is when the focus on proving ability neglects improving ability. And what we mean by this is that when there's too much focus on the outcome, the standard, that bit of perfection, we tend to lose sight of the process. And what this means is that we are constantly judgmental of the outcome and not focused on how we're going to make the outcome better. When we remove permission to make the mistakes in the environment, it really interrupts the learning process, and we're going to find that our capacity to improve is drastically diminished. So on one hand, dancers want to be focusing on this amazing product, they want to be achieving their goals, but the way to do it is to work with process. The next way in which dancers face the paradox is when perfectionism is subjective in nature. So what is perfect is often subjective. There is no real objective measure. Each dancer, teacher, choreographer, critic, they're all going to have their own idea of what constitutes, for example, a perfect arabesque. And so dancers are then relying on ambiguous signals. They're relying on feedback from the mirrors, feedback from their teacher, reviews, and this ambivalence can leave them just wondering what it is that they're supposed to be aiming for or trying to achieve. The final way that dancers experience the paradox is when both positive and negative perfectionism go hand in hand. What we mean by this is that a dancer that experiences perfectionism is most likely going to experience both positive and negative perfectionism. No one experiences just positive perfectionism. So what we want to do is encourage dancers to be moving away from negative perfectionism. But unfortunately for all of us that are striving for excellence, even though we may experience the rewards of positive perfectionism, we're also going to be experiencing the hardships of negative perfectionism.